Welcome to Tea and Talk, a self-development podcast for wifehood. Tea and Talk is dedicated to helping married Black women deconstruct the barriers holding her back in life and marriage, reconstruct a stronger and solid foundation for growth and development, and put those things into action to step into wifehood wiser and more confidently. With over 9 years in the wifehood game, I hope to spread my knowledge from my experiences and give you more clarity and skills so we can all go out and smash it in wifehood. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss anything Tea and Talk. Grab a notebook, a pen, and your favorite mug and sit back and sip this tea with me as we get into it on this episode of Tea and Talk. Hey, sweeties. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Tea and Talk. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks for sipping with me. For the last few months, I've had encounters, or lack thereof, with members of my family. If you've been listening to Tea and Talk since the beginning, you know my family dynamics aren't the best, and yet, and still, those dynamics haven't improved. In fact, I would say some of them have worsened. I just want a disclaimer. I don't tell these stories or open up these pieces of my life to talk crap or air out my family's dirty laundry. I tell these stories and open up my life to show that you aren't alone. Your feelings are valid regardless of how others may feel or what others may say about it. All right. So, many of you are not aware that I recently had our second baby boy in December of 2022. So now I'm a mother of two and officially a #boy mama and absolutely love it. Motherhood is such a rewarding job and it feeds my soul in a way nothing else can. The thing with that pregnancy is I expected, pay attention to that word, expect or expectations. I expected it to be similar to my first pregnancy, where multiple family members called and checked on me often and just showed, genuine care and love for me as well as for the baby. Well, that is not what went down at all. The love and care they failed to show was really a slap in the face because with family, and this is a trap I fall into often, but you expect, there's that word again, more from them. I understand we are all walking different paths and living our own lives, but you make time for the things you want to make time for and people and things that are important to you. It takes seconds to send a text, to check on a loved one, and a pregnancy lasts 9 months. In the beginning, I felt horrible about it 110%. It made me question relationships, love, and those people. My mother and my mother-in-law really showed up for me during this time. It meant the world to me to have them be in that space with me. They were my rocks, besides my husband and my oldest son. Saying it out loud now, I should have been more thankful for those who were right there with me, but it was hard to overlook the absence of others in the moment. So for a while, I was hurt, tearful, depressed, crying, and wondering why these individuals had distanced themselves during this important time for me. And I don't mean to sound any type of selfish. I'm just keeping it 100. What I realized was the same people I was expecting, there's that word again, y'all, more from, weren't even present or didn't even make an effort in the life of my first son after he was born. It was all a spectacle until he was actually here, and then the dust settled. I was expecting more from people who I really shouldn't have expected anything from to begin with, hoping their ways had in some way, shape, or form changed. I had to sit in that and reflect. I had to really take the time to sit in those feelings I was experiencing and process them and make a decision. Why was I holding on to the hope that these people would change after years of showing me who they truly were? Why did I keep expecting more when they have never given me any indication to expect more? Why did I care so deeply? These were some of the questions I had to ask myself. After taking time to process, I realized I don't want those relationships anymore, family or not. I realized for years things have either been one-sided or draining in the relationship and taking up too much of my time and energy only for me to continue to be disappointed or hurt again and again. I would invest, care, show love, and sow into those relationships only to have the other person take, and take, but never give. I realized at that point, I was done. I know I spoke about this in another episode, but it's so hard to just let go and be done with so-called family. I guess this is why the same type of situation was presented to me again, because I hadn't completely learned yet. But it's funny how things work and how the universe shows you things to continue to help you on your journey. I deserved much better, and in order for me to get the better I deserved, I had to recognize my self-worth even more, which meant distancing from those people and relationships. Thank you, universe. This was major for me to come to this conclusion, and in a way scary but liberating. I don't need half-ass, half-in relationships with family. I put into my relationships and cherished them maybe too much, which is why I'm here speaking about this now. So I decided to, again, with the boundaries, but for real, set some more boundaries with folks to protect my peace, my energy, and overall my feelings. I also had to stop allowing these individuals so much access to me when the access to them wasn't reciprocated. After taking the time to think and sit in the discomfort, I realized these relationships expired a long time ago, and I've just been trying to hold on to them, breathing extra life into them, trying to keep them afloat. I am healing, not healed, so sometimes it may take me learning the same thing I had already learned. This time, I learned I didn't want those relationships anymore. In order for me to continue to grow and flourish, I must show people how I want and deserve to be treated and loved, and I haven't thus far completely. So I've decided I will no longer be in the lives of those individuals in that way anymore because it hurts me too much and I am worth more. I have decided that a line has to be drawn. The line is me loving them from a distance, but no longer putting my all into them or those relationships. I am no longer going to be the one to jump when they need me, answer my phone, call, or text back right away like I usually do. From now on, they will have very limited access to me because it is absolutely necessary for me to be able to move on and leave those parts behind. I am creating a new narrative by writing this part of the story, and I am taking back my control. So let's dive into these expectations we all have for others. Why is it we expect so much? It's because we are expecting us from them. We would be willing to go that far for others, so it is only natural to think it would be reciprocated. We have to keep in mind when moving and walking through life, we should expect nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing from anyone. Expect people to continue to be who they have shown you they are all along. If they change, awesome, but if they don't, you won't be disappointed by the lack of change. Don't lower your standards, but instead just remove your expectations. You will save yourself tears and pain because, again, not everyone has the same heart as you. In addition, to protect yourself, make sure you have boundaries set. Just because you don't expect doesn't mean you should allow others to walk all over you or disrespect you. Take the pen and create or recreate your own narrative to stay in your tranquility. You don't have to settle for half-assed relationships just because you and that individual share blood. Show people how you deserve to be treated and don't lower your standards. Don't settle, and remember, you are worth it. Want more for yourself and your relationships. I hope this episode of Tea and Talk has helped you gain a bit more clarity and find a piece of what you have been missing to step out into the world as a new, purposeful, and authentic version of you to be able to smash it at wifehood. Never miss anything Tea and Talk.
Click the link in the description to sign up for the email list. I love hearing from each and every one of you, so don't be shy, comment below. I can't wait to hear from you all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, sweeties, love and light.